So, the movie opens on a lush green forest filled with clamoring, busy animals. These critters are excited because today a new prince has been born. So the forest folks gather around what turns out to be a doe and her newborn fawn, Bambi.
Doe, a deer?
A female deer.
A female deer?
Yeah. And they are laying in a ray, a drop of golden sun. Okay. Almost immediately, a little rabbit kit by the name of Thumper befriends young Bambi, seemingly determined to show him the ins and outs of life here in the forest.
That's what they're called? Kits?
Yep, I looked it up because I'm like, that doesn't sound right, but apparently that's, yeah. There are a lot of small forest creatures who are named kits. Pine martens, those babies are kits. Foxes, obviously, kits.
Of course.
Yeah.
After kitsune, which is Japanese for magical fox.
Stop. That might be true. That might be true.
I had to have a samurai cop moment.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. No. Okay, so yeah. Almost immediately, a little rabbit kit by the name of Thumper befriends young Bambi, seemingly determined to show him the ins and outs of life here in the forest. I'm going to take a quick time out here to address the fact that this rabbit must have a serious attitude problem. I'll explain later, but just know a rabbit thumping is not a good thing. Anyway, they're learning all about birds and butterflies and flowers when Bambi comes nose to nose with Flower the skunk, an adorably bashful little guy who's quite tickled that Bambi would call him a pretty flower. Because he is. I mean, look at that sweet baby. Anyway, they go exploring, and over the next few, I don't know, weeks maybe? It doesn't specify. Bambi sees more of the forest world. His mother, whose name we never learn by the way, takes him to the meadow after warning him about the dangers of the open space. He meets Feline, a spunky young fawn who teases him into playing with her atop Pride Rock 1, then watches as the chads of the forest run out into the meadow to show off their antlers, almost trampling Bambi on top of Pride Rock 2.
Hey, real quick, can I just...
Yeah?
I had a... It has nothing to do with the amount of Pride Rocks, which, by the way, we're on Pride Rocks 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But, I think I just realized that there are no named characters that aren't deer in Bambi. I mean, think about this. They call him Thumper specifically because he's always thumping. It's not a name. It more than like he's the rabbit that thumps a lot. Flower isn't Flower's name. When he meets Bambi, Bambi accidentally calls him a flower, and Flower says, "Oh, he can call me a flower if he likes. I don't mind." So we know that Bambi has a name. We know that Feline has a name. We know that Rono, the asshole stag, has a name.
That's true.
And who's the other supposedly named character? Friend Owl, who's just owl that is friendly.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
That's
I'm sorry, I just had to vent that galaxy brain revelation.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting, where it's like their royalty, so they get names, and then...
everyone else is just a serf.
Yeah, and maybe it's also because in the original story it was only deer. There were only ever deer, and so they didn't have names for any of the other animals, so they don't get names. It's not like Disney picks names for them. It's like they get nicknames.
That makes sense. Like, why would you bother like coming up with a more legitimate name for, like Thumper, other than we'll just call him something.
Yeah,
but we'll call him Thumpin'. Hey, we'll call him Thumper.
Thumper. Yeah, that's a good theory. That's a good observation, I guess.
It's my lighthearted crackpot theory.
Nice. All right, so let's get back to all the Pride Rocks. So, the great...
Pride Rock number 7.
Yeah. The great Chad of the forest watches over everyone from atop Pride Rock 3 and is pointed out to Bambi by his mom as the doodliest dude of them all. Way more doodly than any of the other dudes. He's also, coincidentally, Bambi's father. They return to the forest as winter sets in, and the frolicking fun of the first frost, gives way to a surprisingly harsh yet still tranquil depiction of trying to forage in the dead of winter. The first thaw comes, and Mrs. Bambi finds a patch of spring meadow grass for them to eat, but shortly thereafter, Man arrives and pops a confetti gun that surprises Bambi's mom, and she runs away and lives a peaceful life in a farm upstate. The end.
Don't
Just kidding, she dies.
Don't you give me that hope, I was going to say.
Yep. Yeah, sorry. She dies.
Because I had this crackpot theory that, she doesn't die, but the Prince of the Forest says to her, like, you brought Bambi into the meadow without checking that it was safe. So he's going to stay with me now.
CPS picks him up. She forfeits custody.
Yep. And she's still alive somewhere.
Man, that's
but she's
rough.
not allowed to take care of Bambi anymore.
That's rough, buddy.
That's why he says your mother can't be with you anymore.
There you go. But yeah, no.
So we can hope.
She dies. Bambi's dad finally decides to show up for his son and takes him to be raised into a proper young buck. This scene ends on a quiet, somber note. Now spring is here and the birds are horny. Friend Owl. Friend Owl. Oops, forgot to mention him before. Anyway, Friend Owl is a grumpy old man who is angry about all the noise and doesn't understand why anyone would give a hoot.
I hate you so much.
About romance.
I'm so mad.
He sermons at length about the dangers of being, quote, Twitter-pated, aka horny. Sorry, gentle listeners, that's just what it is. Dangers of being Twitter-pated to the young adult Bambi, Thumper, and Flower. They take the bachelor's solemn vow not to give in to a pretty face, then fold like matchsticks in quick succession to the conveniently placed female animal counterparts laid in their trail.
Of course.
Flower stops to smell the blooms and then frolics away with a pretty little female skunk. Thumper does something similar. Nate, do not make me describe what happens in that scene, please. And finally, Bambi...
Can you at least tell me what his love interest looks like?
Oh yeah, his love interest looks exactly like Happy from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Look it up, because she has like her little white beard, and she has like little peach fur. No, she 100% looks like Happy decided to make some money on the side.
No, you can't say it like that. That's illegal.
Is it though? There's
You're
very
illegal.
questionable. I don't. It's definitely unwelcome and frowned upon, but I don't know if it's technically illegal.
I'm making it illegal.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Nate. I'm Nate Conrad, and I'm running for your fandom representative. Vote for me, and I will make Abby illegal. I will put her in jail. I'll put her in a box. I'll put that box on a boat, and we'll never have to be horny again for Happy.
Wait. Were you horny for the female bunny?
No,
that's
I just
what
misspoke.
That's what you... Oh boy, looks like we got another one to add to the fan art list.
No, Thumper was horny for No, not Bambi. Thumper was horny for Happy.
No, Flower was horny for Bambi.
Okay, Flower was horny for Bambi, but Thumper was horny for Happy. Okay, well, let's break this down. Who's on first? What's on second?
Who's driving the truck?
Bambi's mom's in the truck.
Who's driving the truck? Okay, so, Okay, finally, Bambi is left clinging to the barest scrap of conviction on this issue when Feline arrives as a young adult doe and completely washes away any of his restraint. Their meeting as adults perfectly mirrors when they met as kids, which is beautiful, but
it's so beautiful.
But this time their frolicking is stopped by evil boyfriend Deer Number 7, with bags under his eyes and the Disney villain color palette.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bambi is forced to fight for Feline's affections, which he does, and wins by throwing him off a cliff. Don't worry, he's fine. Then cuddles up with his boo and settles down to sleep. They're awoken by man in the forest once more, and when Bambi saves Feline from a pack of hunting dogs and tries to escape himself, he's shot and wounded. Papa Chad swoops in and helps him get up, then they escape just in time because, guess what? Man started a freaking forest fire because of course we did. Of course we did. Luckily, all the animals we care about got to safety in time. Crowded on a riverbank, they watch their homes get destroyed by the blaze. Cut to springtime and new growth over the charred remains of the forest. Everyone is in a rush of excitement because the new prince is born. Except, surprise, it's twins. Thumper's kids have inherited his chronic thumping, and Flowers named his kid Bambi, which is adorable. And
So cute.
while all this is happening, Bambi and his dad, look on with pride from Pride Rock 4 as the princes of the forest. The
There's
end.
so many Pride Rocks.
Stop deforestation, kids. The end. Yeah, there's at least
Remember,
4.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Mm-hmm.